Okay guys, so today, around 7 hours ago, as of February 4th, Fnaf tweeted out a frequently asked questions on Twitter. So we basically got some new info on Five Nights at Freddy's Plus, which is perfect because my video recently got a lot of views. So I thought most of you guys would probably want to see this. So I'm basically going to just read off all the new information we have about the game. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So here's the frequently asked questions post. I'm gonna go ahead and skip over the what is FNAF Plus section and the game description section because I went more in detail on the game in my last video. So I'm only be covering, the new stuff. If you guys saw the last video, then this is all gonna be new. Before I read off the most frequently asked questions though, I just want to read off these couple features that he listed for the game. Features. So here's our first bullet point. A reimagined experience that's sure to scare and surprise both newcomers and veterans of the FNAF series. Next up we have the original 5 Nights of Terror, an extra special 6th night, and many more post-game bonuses to complete. Then after that we have expanded custom night mode with in-depth customization settings, adjustable AI, and additional mods. And then revamped visuals and animations, displayed at a native 1080p resolution. Brand new plus mode for thrill-seeking fans looking for a real challenge. Unlockable prizes and trinkets for your office, a real options and pause menu, finally. Okay, now on to the most frequently asked questions. When will FNAF Plus release? The game has no set release date as of now. No dates, release windows, estimations, or promises have been given, nor will be given until the game is feature complete. What is the current state of the game? As of today, February 4th, 2022, all assets for use in the game have been completed. All character states and animations have been completed. The game is playable in an alpha state using very rough placeholders and basic renders. AI has been fully programmed and is currently in the process of being tested and balanced. Though playable, the game is still nowhere near in a complete state, especially considering all the work left for polish, optional features, post-game rewards, and bonus content. It lacks the necessary visual polish and atmosphere to be publicly shown off, and as such footage will be reserved until much closer to release. Will the game be free? No. FNAF Plus has been officially licensed by Scott Cawthon, and is too close of a product to the original FNAF to be allowed to be distributed for free. The game will most likely be sold through Steam and published by Scott Games. Price is unknown at the moment and will be decided by the publisher, though hopefully will be priced around the same as the original FNAF. What are the biggest differences between Plus and the original series? A greater emphasis in horror and mechanical complexity. FNAF Plus will feature much more in-depth enemy AI, a greater number of unique creepy events, and a bigger focus on the resource management survival game that made FNAF stand out from its horror contemporaries back in 2014. The game will also be darker, visually and tonally, from the rest of the series. How long will the game be? FNAF Plus contains the same amount of nights for its main campaign as the original, 5 nights and an additional 6th night, which will all take around the same amount of time to complete. However, a lot of effort is being made to bring additional content to the post-game, such as expanded custom night mode, a brand new plus mode, and a lot of other bonuses for fans to enjoy. Why is it called FNAF Plus? The name was decided on between the developer, Phil Morg, and Scott Cawthon. The name fits the game as it is supposed to be both a reimagining and addition to the original FNAF, with more detail, more scares, more content, more story, and more secrets to discover. Even though the game will be different from the original experience, no content will be removed outright, only added or expanded on. How much input does Scott Cawthon have over the creation of FNAF Plus? Aside from approving of its initial design document, giving support for the creation of the game and providing small comments during development, any and all creative and design decisions for the game are being made by the developer, Phil Morg. Is FNAF Plus canon to the original series? The story of FNAF Plus is set in its own self-contained alternate universe, separate from the canon of the mainline FNAF titles. What engine and software is the game developed on? The game is being programmed in GameMaker Studio 2, with pre-rendered graphics and model assets rendered in Blender Eevee. Will the game be 3D? No, the game will remain a 2D pre-rendered game. to remain faithful to the spirit of the original FNAF. Is the game coming to consoles or mobile? Focus is currently being placed on the PC release. All plans to port the game to mobile or console will be decided later on by the publisher. Is the game coming to Linux, Mac, or other OSs besides Windows? No plans are currently in place. Will merchandise, plushies, posters, or figures be released for the game? No plans for merch are in place until the release of the actual game. Will the game be translated to other languages, such as Spanish, French, Russian, German, etc.? There are plans to include a Spanish translation update post-launch. However, this and other language options depend on publisher support after release. Will Scott Cawthon return to voice Phone Guy in the game's calls? It was originally planned for Phone Guy to return to the game. However, Scott declined to record new lines for the character when it came time to implement the calls. As such, Phone Guy as a character will not return in FNAF Plus, and will be replaced by different characters that fans of the series may enjoy. Are there more FNAF Plus games planned for the future? There are no plans in place to develop future titles beyond the current game. Are more teaser images, videos, or short films planned for FNAF Plus? No. All promotional content for FNAF Plus, besides from a gameplay trailer containing the release date of the game, has already been released, with FNAF Plus's Breaking and Entering short video serving as a final teaser to set up the upcoming game's events. Has the scope or plans for FNAF Plus changed since the initial reveal? Some changes have been made during testing, but no major changes or new big ideas have been introduced since the game's initial pre-production phase, as to prevent the project from increasing beyond the scope of its single developer. Will the game include behind the scenes or extra content like the other FNAF games? Yes. Will the gameplay be 100% faithful to the original? No. Several changes will be made to make the game scarier and more complex. However, Plus will be kept faithful to the spirit of the original. Will the ghost detector seen in Breaking and Entering play a role in the game? Yes, a very minor role. Will FNAF Plus have free roam? You will not be able to explore the pizzeria during your shift. Watching cameras while sitting in an office while surviving from 12 to 6 AM is the core of FNAF's gameplay. Will 420 or Max Challenge Mode return? Custom Night has too many varying settings and features. There would be no way to determine which custom configuration would be the hardest challenge in the game. Will there be any kind of mini-games? There will be no Atari-like 8-bit or retro mini-games featured in FNAF Plus. Will the animatronics have voices? The animatronics will remain mostly silent during the night. There are no plans for set voice actors, quips, or dialogue for them. Will there be additional or new Easter eggs in the game? There are no plans for new Easter eggs and secrets. How will the game control? There are plans for a wide variety of control options. At the moment, mouse only, keyboard only, and gamepad only are being tested. Will there be references to other FNAF games? Yes. Aside from Goodbye to Spring and Follow Me, were there other songs considered for the game's trailers? Yes. A lot of effort went into finding the correct songs for the game's promotional material. However, only the best, more appropriate choices were selected in the end. How many endings will the game have? As many as the original FNAF. What inspired the animatronic redesigns? Many design elements were taken from the animatronics' many incarnations throughout the series, as well as elements from the old, neglected, or in disrepair animatronics, such as the ones found in Billy Bob's Wonderland. Will the game feature the same sounds and UI as the original? New UI and sounds are planned for the game. However, a classic mode option is also planned that will change some things to match the look of the original game for hardcore fans. Will any animatronics from other FNAF games make an appearance in FNAF Plus? While the game features some series references here and there, no other animatronics aside from the ones seen in the original game will act as enemies during gameplay. What about Balloon Boy? Some experiments and ideas were thrown around for Balloon Boy to be included in FNAF Plus. However, the decision was made to exclude him due to the character not fitting with the current vision for the game and to prevent gameplay from getting overcrowded. Did the game go through any other names during development? The title Five Nights at Freddy's Plus was decided on fairly quickly. However, other names such as FNAF 1.5, FNAF Rec, and FNAF Red were considered at some point. Was the body inside Freddy in Breaking and Entering the Night Guard? He had a bad night. Who killed our protagonist in Breaking and Entering, Foxy or the puppet? Well, I think that says the puppet. It's blacked out on the thing. Neither. Will the game be harder than the original? For sure. Will the game feature any cutscenes or cinematics? A few screens and small animations such as an intro newspaper are planned, but no fully animated cutscenes. Will the kitchen be seen in FNAF Plus? You can select the kitchen camera. Will Golden Freddy appear in FNAF Plus? What do you think? What happened to Porkchop's horror show? Porkchop's horror show is planned to be worked on after the release of FNAF Plus, as an original IP separate from the FNAF franchise. So yeah guys, that's the end of the frequently asked questions, so I'll see you guys in the next video.